There's some type of strange flashing red light ahead. It's yellow. I saw a yellow tinge in it too. It's brighter than it has been. Yellow. It's coming this way. It is definitely coming this way. There is no doubt about it. This is weird. You're right. There's a white streak on the tree. Okay, so let me turn around and look at this tree over here now. One light to the left. Keep the flashlights off. There's something very, very strange.
Name's Larry Warren. It's been decades of keeping this to myself, so you're probably going to hear some things you probably won't, I don't know, believe, I guess. Hell, if it hadn't happened to me, I'd be sitting in your seat thinking the same goddamn thing. It was Christmas Eve. I was a security airman for the 81st Tactical Fighter Wing stationed at RAF Bentwaters Base in Suffolk, England. There was this thick stretch of woods near the base called Rendlesham Forest. I remember hearing all these stories of ghosts and strange creatures littering these woods for centuries. I figured they were tales they'd tell us younger guys to scare us while we were on guard duty at night. It worked. Perimeter 15. Hours of nothing, just staring at the blackness of the forest, eerily quiet, no crickets, no voices, not even a small gust of wind. Just the slow patterns of my own breath and my heart beating like a muffled drum. My radio starts blaring this harsh static, and then I hear a vehicle coming towards me, fast. In seconds, my superior, Sergeant Bustinza, tells me to hop in the security truck. We were being ordered to investigate something out in the woods. Now, I'd grown close to Bustinza. I knew he didn't spook easily, but the deeper we drove into that forest, the look on his face was just... something big was happening. We get to the edge of the forest. We're ordered to leave our weapons in the truck. I think that bears repeating. We were ordered, in the middle of investigating a possible incursion, to leave our weapons in the goddamn truck. Something wasn't right from the start. About a dozen of us make our way into the forest, and we're holding our flashlights like baseball bats. At this point, our only defense against whatever lay ahead. Now, through the trees, I see this bright white light. It's just pouring through every single void of the leaves, sort of pulsating, you know, bright, then dim, then bright again. I move forward with the others into this clearing, and that's when everything comes into full view. There must have been 40 people out there, all of them staring up at the sky, just panic everywhere. And that's when I see this single red light coming towards us, and it's getting bigger the closer it gets, and it settles right above us, and then boom, nothing but white. My eyes felt like they were burning in their sockets. The white dissipates. My eyes focus, and I see this craft. It's got three distinct points, almost a perfect triangle, and it's just pitch black. Now, it hovers there, right above us, just a couple of feet off the ground. And I'm looking all over this thing for symbols. You know, is it Russian? Maybe. What are we dealing with here? But there's nothing. Now, Bustinza, he orders a couple of us to move in toward this thing. Now, he He's sweating bullets at this point. Clearly, this isn't coming from him, but from someone higher up. So I do it. I mean, I gotta, you know. Now I feel this this static just surge through me. Everything's moving so slow. And I get closer to whatever this thing is. And it's almost as if it's pulling my shadow into it. It was drawing me in. Things get slower and slower. And as I'm making my way around this thing, I can see there's these, the first thing that comes to my mind, I'm not shitting you here. I say to myself, why are there children out here? This is a highly sensitive military situation. But the closer I get, it's becoming more clear that these weren't children at all. There were three of them. A small, slender. The heads were bigger than the body. Now the one thing that really stood out, I mean, what I really remember about him, the eyes, those eyes, deep black spheres. The light was bouncing off of them like glass. They were beautiful. Now, these things are looking up at our wing commander, Gordon Williams. He's looking down at them, and there's some sort of communication between them. No words spoken. In their Williams, he's trying to keep calm, but I can see the sweat pouring off of him in the freezing air. And at this moment, he turns to one of his officers and he whispers something to him. Now, at this moment, Bustinza orders us all back into the trucks. We're to immediately return to the base. So we're all huddled in the trucks, and everyone's just sitting there in complete silence. And we make our way to the base, and when we get there, I walk up to Bustinza. What are we dealing with here? I asked him. And he just looks at me and he says, Larry, we weren't ready for this. And with that, I make my way back to the barracks. I take off my uniform and I just lay in bed, trying to make sense of it all. Warren, you're to report to Major Zickler immediately. There's an MP at the doorway of the barracks. I struggle to my feet, and I'm escorted across the base to this debriefing room where we're all ordered to sign these pre-typed statements of what we saw. Aren't even allowed to read them. They sit us down in front of two men in business suits. Next to them is Major Zickler. He introduces them as members of the Armed Forces Security Service. There were no pleasantries. The first guy steps up. What you men saw last night represents a technology far more advanced than our own. This technology comes from an off-planet civilization, one of many civilizations that visit from time to time. It was so blunt, to the point. I mean, how do you tell someone something like that with such, and we're supposed to just sit there, listen, and accept it? The other guy comes up Nothing, absolutely nothing that you saw last night is to ever be spoken of. If we discover that you have done so in any way whatsoever, you will be dealt with accordingly. I'm 19, naive, so I speak up. What do you mean accordingly? The guy looks straight at me. What's your name? Larry. I tell him. Warren. The other guy scribbles something in his notebook. My name. Well, Larry Warren, bullets are cheap. This wasn't a joke. He meant it. Not a doubt in my mind. A couple of days later, they find Bustinza in a security truck. Half his head blown off. Self-inflicted, they told us. I couldn't stay there. I couldn't keep doing this job knowing that this shit was happening. How many times had they kept these things quiet? This isn't what I signed up for. I started acting out any chance I got until they discharged me. Honorably, I might add. Their idea of bribing me in their own fucked up way to keep my mouth shut. And with that, my service to the United States Air Force was over. Now I had talked to some of the guys since. A couple turned to booze. Others went on to have shining careers, but some of them refused to forget what they saw. And after 30 fucking years of keeping my mouth shut, I think I owe it to the public, to myself, to get this story out there. The people deserve to know what is happening right under their fucking noses. This is your government, your military, the people that you trust with your security, your freedom, your future. And they failed that night. I can't sit here and tell you I know what happened, but I want someone to acknowledge that we saw something. We weren't hallucinating. We aren't crazy. Something visited that forest, and whatever it was, it could have wiped us all off the face of the planet in the blink of an eye. And we just stood back and watched. And then what did we do? We denied that it ever even happened. If that ain't...
Larry? Larry, is everything all right? What is it, Larry? What do you see?
Nothing. I don't see anything.
No? Are you sure? I heard you talking. Who are you talking to, Larry?
No one. I wasn't talking to anyone.
That's right, Larry. There's no one here. Just you and me. What is it that we always say, Larry? What is it that we must remember? Come on, Larry, what is it?
Bullets are cheap.
Yes. Good. Very good. The doctor would like to see you, Larry. Why don't you come with me and we'll talk. Oh, just you and me and the doctor. Just you? And the doctor? Just you and me and the doctor. How's that sound? Very good.